I'm about ready to pose a compelling question to myself, but also to you. Should I be rethinking my position on Etsy? It might not be a secret, but I have been bearish on Etsy for a while. Over my lifetime as a creative, I've had a few different shops on Etsy. In fact, I have 2 different shops up there right now. I just haven't had a lot of traction on Etsy, and it just seemed like I was spinning my wheels in order to get very few sales. So I kind of abandoned it and I didn't touch it for a long time. But then I got an email from them the other day and it might have just shifted my point of view. Hi, I'm Dave and I make things. Like I said, my name is Dave Connery and I'm an artist here in Southern California, and this is my video number 2 for my new channel. And what I like to do here, what I'm planning on doing here, is finding different creative pursuits, take my work, put it in new places, do new things with it, experiment with this so that you can see firsthand what somebody jumping in for the first time on some new idea, what it's like to do that, so that you can go and maybe do the same thing for yourself, or potentially stay completely away from. If you're into that kind of thing, then do me a favor, make sure you hit this like on this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and then make sure you hit that bell, because you never want to miss anything that we share here. I need all the help I can get right now. Anyway, so like I said, I have been pretty bearish on Etsy for a while. I just don't feel like they have done a lot of due diligence to help people build their businesses on that platform. They have like certain things they're trying to help promote people, like they have the ads on there, but their ads are pretty ineffective and they've got a tremendously bad track record of that. Getting found on that platform is difficult. So if you don't already have an established like social media connection, newsletter, all this other stuff, you're really not going to do very well on Etsy. And if that's the case, then you might as well open up your own shop, like on Shopify or Squarespace, and just sell that way. It's my opinion. You might have a different opinion. At least you don't have to continually pay all these fees to Etsy, and you have complete autonomy over the content and the information that gets shared through your website. So I haven't been too big on there, but I do understand that there are people on Etsy making a good living, or at least making a reasonable amount of side cash to make it worth their while. That wasn't gonna be my plan, but then I got an email from them, which was sharing a blog post they had posted, introducing more ways to get featured through Offsite ads. Now, Offsite ads can help you get your item featured on big name publishing sites, bring more traffic to your shop. And I thought, well, that's interesting. They already were doing this. Like, they promote through Google and Google Ads and other places, but it feels like that they're gonna be doing even more of that. It says here, Google, Instagram, and Pinterest. They're also going to be BuzzFeed and Martha Stewart and Real Simple, and probably going to saturate themselves into other places. That's really interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and link to this article in the description below so you can read it for yourself. It's not super robust and doesn't have a ton of information in it, but it did make me wonder what has been going on with my Etsy account. So I decided to go into my shop and check my analytics. What you're looking at here are the stats for my Dave Connery Etsy shop, where I sell mostly my art and art prints and stuff like that, some mugs and things like that. And as you can see, it's pretty, it's unimpressive to say the least. I only made about $40 worth of revenue last year, minus all the costs that I put in to be on Etsy and all the listings that went in. I probably didn't make much profit, if any at all. I only had 2 orders, and over the entire year, I only had 297 visits. That is a 23% reduction from the previous year. I know people that did really well in 2020 because everybody was home and shopping, but my 2020 obviously is not something I normally would talk about, except when I'm talking about what happened in 2021. Here are my stats for just 2021. I haven't made any money still, but I've got 84 visits in the first 2 months. That is a 320% increase just this year. Now, when I go deeper, I look at all this stuff. Okay, where did my views come from? Etsy search was one of them. I'm not sure what's going on there. If I click on that, it doesn't really tell me too much. Some of the search items here make sense, but I don't have enough product there and I don't have enough visits to really use these metrics for anything. I mean, I was only getting 1 visit off of these searches. But what I find truly interesting is the Etsy marketing and SEO. And again, not a ton of visits, but a lot of it coming from Google.com, which was more than I was getting from Google.com last year. It just goes to show that what Etsy is saying in this blog post here might be true. They might be saturating the market a little bit more with their promotional efforts, which makes me wonder if it's time to give it a shot again. Because if I can get more views this year without doing anything, what would happen if I actually put some energy into it? So I'm an artist and designer by trade. And if I'm going to take my skills to Etsy, then there are a couple different ways that I can do that. I can do it in the form of like merchandise, like mugs and t-shirts and things like that. I can do art products and art prints and things of that nature. Some people with design backgrounds on Etsy are also providing service-oriented stuff, like somebody wants their website redesigned, their social media icons redesigned. That's something that can be done. A lot of people designing digital downloadable type things. These are options that I will probably explore in the future on this channel, but what I want to start with is something that I know sells across the board, and that's t-shirts. Well, to be specific, t-shirts and mugs. I keep mentioning those two things because my personal experience, the things that people buy the most of from me are t-shirts and mugs. So I was about ready to jump into this, and I started to think to myself, like, what would be the best approach to really truly figure out if Etsy is worthwhile? Should I continue to put stuff up on my shop, which has been established for a while, even though I don't have a lot of sales right now, or should I start a brand new shop on Etsy and go from scratch and see if maybe I can get some traction that way? Let's be honest, that would be the harder route, but the reason I feel like that's the way to go here is because the work that I want to produce isn't going to be necessarily indicative of the work that I would normally sell on my Dave Connery art site. I did a search here on Etsy for t-shirts, and what I see consistent across the board is a very simple single color design, nothing too outrageous. These are the things that people are buying. Am I totally into it? Personally, no. But can I take my style and apply this simple minimalist aesthetic and still generate some interest here? When I look at some of these designs and they're like, educated, vaccinated, caffeinated, dedicated. This t-shirt right here is almost everything I stand against. Would I make a shirt just like that? No. But can I do something that is similar, better, and get some attention from the same people who might be looking at this shirt? The way I see this right now is I'm sitting squarely between two polar opposites. Number one, to do stuff that is specifically my style, so that I don't ever feel like I'm selling out. Number two is to do exactly that, to create a type of product that I know is going to get simple, easy attention from somebody who doesn't want to have to think too hard about the thing they're buying. This one over here repels me pretty hard, but I also understand that this one over here may repel other people. How do I come to the middle between these two things and create a shop that people want to buy from? If I've learned anything about my journey online in the last few years, it's that the more often that you can niche down into a category that somebody feels truly connected to, the more likely you are going to sell something to that person. Software engineers who also happen to like cats, I mean, that's a pretty specific niche, but there's enough of them out there to at least sell a few t-shirts or stickers or mugs or whatever. People that enjoy sports and also craft beer, that's a no-brainer. I'm an artist and designer who also likes coffee and whiskey, so if I saw a shirt that I thought was pretty cool and touched on those areas, then I'm more likely to buy it. So that's the general plan. Create a shop that caters to a very specific niche at the beginning, and then focus my energy on creating a very specific set of products. T-shirts, mugs, stickers, maybe some journals. I know that these 4 categories are very popular on Etsy. I'm gonna start by taking 10 to 12 different designs, putting them on all of those different products, really focusing on my titles, my tags, getting my Etsy SEO really in tune with what I think people are going to be searching for. So that's going to require some homework. We're going to let that sucker ride for a little bit, and then in 30 days, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened after all of that. At the time of this recording, I haven't figured out what niche and I haven't established the shop. But if by the time you see this video, I have done these things, I will put a link in the description so that you can go and see exactly what's up. Oh, I almost forgot. One key aspect to this is that I don't want to outlay any more cash than I need to. So all of these designs are going to be using print on demand, and the print on demand company that I'm going to use is Printify.com. Now, I have been a Printful.com loyalist for a while, but I've started to experiment with Printify, and what I'm seeing there is that number one, they are getting my orders out the door faster, and number two, they're less expensive. One problem about doing print on demand through Etsy is that people that shop on Etsy sometimes have a little bit of an expectation about getting things, you know, like in a timely manner, and sometimes print on demand can kind of step outside that, especially during COVID, where the the production times, the fulfillment times can be a little bit flexible. That can be a problem for the overall rating of your shop, but we're gonna give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. So now here's my checklist of all the things that I need to do in the next 30 days so that we actually have something to talk about. Number 1, I gotta create the shop on Etsy. Number 2, I gotta make all the designs. Number 3, I have to establish all the print-on-demand products. Number 4, I need to go and do a bunch of different mock-ups for all of the things. Number 5, I need to get all my listings up into Etsy, as well as do a significant amount of study on SEO. And number 6, I need to promo the hell out of it. By the way, if the link is down there when you see this and you decide you want to buy something, feel free to do so. So there you go, that's what I've got planned, and whether it works well or not, then you are going to experience it firsthand. And now, I'm not just going to quit after 30 days. I'm gonna let this ride for a while so that I can go back and revisit over time. 30 days is our first metric, but there will be others. If you have any questions or comments about what I am doing here and what maybe you think I should do different, better, go down to the comments below and let me know. I will be happy to reply to pretty much anybody, unless you're a troll. And while you're headed down there, make sure you like and subscribe because, hey, I need all the juice I can get. One last thing before I go. I started a brand new website at davemakesthings.com. It's a WordPress website, and I'm going to have a blog there, and you can sign up for the newsletter, and if you go sign up for the newsletter today, I will send you a coupon code to that Etsy shop so that you can get an extra 10% off of any purchase that you decide to make there. Yeah, I'm not above shilling for a few extra bucks. I definitely recommend that you sign up for the newsletter because that's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information. You don't have to come here to check for YouTube when new things come out. I'll just send it directly to your inbox. That's it, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. If you haven't seen my first video and you wanna find out more about what I've got planned here for this channel, go ahead and hit that one right up there. If you wanna see what I'm doing in my other channel, the more nuts and bolts of how I make things, go to that one right there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, go make more stuff.